Hello, welcome back to my channel. So a few days ago I reported that Nicolle has recently gotten more legal trouble than she was already in. And so back in April she was caught with drugs, she was caught with pills, and she ended up getting a good deal where she was sentenced to like 13 months, but she got like 12 months she didn't have to serve, so she only had to serve a month, and she just had to go to jail on the weekends, Friday through Sunday. But then she got in even more trouble, and now she's locked up. And when I reported this, I said her and Daonte were together still, because last she said on Instagram not that long ago before she was arrested, she said they were still together. Well, Daonte went live tonight clearing up some things, and he says that him and Nicolle are no longer together. He said he ended up having to fall back from her for a while. So first he started talking around the time when she was arrested in April. He said around that time him and Nicolle weren't really hanging out like that. He said he saw her a few times. They hooked up here and there, but it wasn't consistently. So Daonte was asked about what happened when she was first arrested back in April, and he said he really has no idea what happened that particular night she went to jail. He said that when she went to jail, he was one of the first phone calls she made, and she said that she was driving, she forgot to turn her headlights on, she got pulled over, and the cops searched her. Nicolle swore up and down to Daonte that she did not do any drugs that night. She was under the influence, but she claims that she got busted with Xanax and she was arrested, but on the charges, it says she was charged with possession of multiple drugs and multiple different pills. So it's more than just Xanax. So I think she's just sugarcoating it to him. So when she went to jail in April, she didn't stay long in jail before she was bonded out. And once she got out of jail, her and Daonte started spending a lot more time together. Daonte said that he was really going through it at the time, and he said mainly because of Nicolle, and she ended up reaching out to him. And at that time, he needed some comfort, so he started seeing her more. And he said they'd hook up, he'd go stay the night with her. And he swore up and down he didn't bond Nicolle out that time that she did get out of jail. He said that she was stripping at the Mermaid, and while she was stripping there, she claimed that she wasn't doing that good dancing, but some like super old white guy came in, and he instantly fell in love with Nicolle and had a thing for her. So next thing you know, this dude was coming to see her at the strip club all the time. He was dropping a bunch of coins on her, and then he was dropping a bunch of coins on her outside the strip club and helping take care of her. He bought her that white card that she had. She posted on her Instagram. He bought her a cell phone. He was paying for her monthly cell phone bill, and he bonded her out from jail back in April, and he bought her new pair of titties. So pretty much he found her a sugar daddy. Then for some weird reason, Nicolle convinced Daonte to go out to dinner with this old guy that she was using for his money. So Daonte said that he ended up meeting this dude for dinner. He said it was super awkward, and the whole time the dude's talking about how much he loves Nicolle, how crazy he is for Nicolle. Daonte did not go into detail why he had to meet this dude. I wonder if maybe he had to be a co-signer on the bond. Maybe this dude was like, I'll pay the money for the bond and you co-sign it. But Daonte was like, look, Nicolle was going to get those boobs one way or another, and she got her boobs from this dude. So he said that she was juicing this dude and hanging out with Daonte at the same time, and she said that she didn't want the dude anymore after he got her boobs, and she refused to sleep with this dude the whole time. So he bought her the car, the phone, the boobs, and she didn't like how she did Daonte. She wouldn't sleep with him. Just like she did with Daonte too. She was trying to say, no sex till I get my boobs done. And here she is telling that one dude the same thing. Then he pays all the money to get her chest done. She still wouldn't put out. So he was like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of this BS. If it hasn't happened by now, it ain't gonna happen. So he decided to take the phone back that he got her, cancel the phone, and he ended up getting the car back from her. And then she started hitting up Daonte all the time for rides and help because she no longer had transportation or money coming from her sugar daddy. So Daonte said that he was annoyed at first because it was taking him out of his daily routine, but he told Nicolle the only way he would drive her around and help her out is that she paid for his gas and paid when they went out. So Daonte admitted that he no longer feels as empathetic for Nicolle as he once did. He said now when he looks at Nicolle, he just sees her as like, what are you trying to get from me now? It seems like there's always a motive motive for everything she's trying to do, he said. And I'm glad he's finally starting to see that. And I bet when he was sitting there talking to her sugar daddy when they went out to dinner, I bet he probably felt like he was on the outside looking in at who he used to be, because he used to be that sucker for Nicolle like that sugar daddy was. And I hope he isn't anymore. He said that he's done with her, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see, because you know he said that in the past too. So Nicolle and Daonte ended up getting back together not long after the sugar daddy cut her off, and a UK television company ended up reaching out to Daonte about bringing Nicolle and Daonte on this show. It was going to be a show about unique relationships, and it was going to highlight Daonte and Nicolle's relationship. And at first, Nicolle agreed that she was going to do the show, but being on TV is a process. Like, you just don't sign up for the show and you get on the show like that. You have to do a bunch of interviews on Zoom. You have to talk for hours on the phone. You have to send over all your information. It's a lot that you have to do. So he told Nicolle from the jump, like, if you're going to do this, let me know, but please don't waste my time if you're going to fall through. So they did a bunch of the steps that they needed to do, and they were at the final step. They just had to do one last Zoom interview, and they were going to fly out and film the show with them. But for the last interview, since they're in the UK, they're like, okay, we have to do this interview at 6 a.m. in the morning. So Nicolle, the day of the interview, she was nowhere to be found. So Daonte was the only one who showed up, and they couldn't do it without both of them being there. So Nicolle kept blowing Daonte off, and the TV show ended up giving them multiple chances. They're like, okay, she's not here today, but we'll try again tomorrow. And Daonte said they're literally calling him every single day, just saying, hey, can you please just get her over here for a few minutes? All we have to do is just talk to her real quick, and then we can move on from here and actually film. And she just completely fell through. And Daonte said at that time, that's when he started to miss Lindsay for a second, because he feels like Lindsay would have jumped on the opportunity in a heartbeat. And that is just so crazy. Here's Nicolle constantly begging people for money, and here she had a chance to go be on a TV show and make some money and make Daonte some money and get some exposure and become a little relevant again, and she just completely effed up the opportunity and fumbled the bag. So I asked Daonte, because I was in this live, I asked them, what did she get in trouble for recently? Because I saw she's not just staying at the jail on weekends. It just shows a possession charge, but that's what her initial charge was for. So that either means that she had got a probation violation on her possession charge, which means she could have failed a drug test. She may have not showed up to go see her PO. She said she was seeing her PO weekly, or she could have possibly got busted with drugs once again. So Daonte said that she ended up calling him, and she was super upset, and Daonte asked her what she did, and she said that she did not want to talk about it. So I'm assuming it's pretty bad if she doesn't want to talk about it. And she was all depressed, saying she has no idea when she's going to get out. Like, it said on the arrest report, well, not the arrest report, it said on Vine that she gets out on November 22nd, but that could have been from the time when she was just supposed to be there for a month on the weekends, and that may have not been updated yet. But with the way Daonte was making it sound, she's scared that she may be going back for at least a few more years, and especially with her just getting in trouble in April and her already getting in trouble again. They're not going to take it too lightly on her this time. I saw someone make a good point, and they're like, well, maybe she got caught trying to bring drugs into the jail on the weekends when she goes. And you know what? That wouldn't surprise me if that's the case, because back in my days years ago when I used to be locked up, the girlies used to love the weekender inmates, because those were always the girls that were smuggling stuff in because they get to go home Monday through Thursday. And a lot of the weekend girls would bring in drugs on the weekends so they could trade for different things to help them get through their weekend stay at the jail. And they would also bring them from themselves, because a lot of these girls had habits and couldn't go 3 whole days without using something. So honestly, that wouldn't shock me if that's the case, but that is just pure speculation. Like I said, I sent off for the body cam footage, the incident report, the 911 call, all that information, and I got an email back, and they said it can take up to 20 days. Hopefully it don't take that long. Hopefully I hear from them before then, and I just hope that Daonte is done, but we'll just have to wait and see. I saw someone make a good point in the comments on his live, and they said they feel like Daonte is blocking his blessings, and I feel like that is so true. Because here he is spending valuable time and coins, even though he said he didn't really spend coins, but he said that he missed out on money he could have made because he was hanging out with Nicolle, like money he could have made door dashing. And he was also trying to say, oh yeah, well, she helped teach me how to door dash. Well, how hard can it be to learn how to door dash? And so he said that she would want to go door dashing with him, and he said when she went with him, he'd make like half the amount of money. Because Nicolle would say, oh, I taught you how to DoorDash, so you got to give me half your money while I'm with you and while you DoorDash with me, which I don't think that is right at all. And I think it's pretty telling that she suddenly reached out to Daonte and all of a sudden wanted to act like she liked him and started sleeping with him when she had no other choice after her sugar daddy kicked her to the curb and cut her off, and she needed someone's phone to use and someone to drive her around. So I just think that he's blocking his blessings, like I said, because here he is spending all this time on her when he could have spent this time on someone else that could actually treat him right and bring something to the table, someone who's not using him. And he said that he had this girl over the summer, like when he went to Brittany's birthday party with Chevelle and Quaylin. There's this girl that he was pictured with, and I was like, okay, is this a new girl in his life? And he said that he was talking to that girl and they went out a few times, but then he started talking to Nicolle again, and then he posted that picture of him and Nicolle on his Instagram, and that girl commented and she got really upset, and Daonte said he felt bad, so he decided to delete it, but he said he's still talking to that girl at this time. And all that time and energy he put into Nicolle just for it to be wasted because she's just dragging him down. He could have put that energy into getting to know this girl and taking her out on dates and making that go somewhere. He could have met him another baddie. Nicolle has done nothing but hold Daonte back. And plus, when he posts all these pictures with Nicolle on his social media, like he did over the summer, that's gonna turn any decent girl off. So it ruins all his opportunities with other girls because they know that Nicolle is Daonte's weakness and he hasn't been able to leave her alone yet. And they're not gonna want to waste their time with somebody that they're scared that Nicolle may call him up any second. He's gonna go running back. So that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. Check out my lashes and cosmetics at AccordingtoAmber.com. Stay tuned for my Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.